Hello everyone, welcome back to Operation Frostbite, Japan Turn 8, January 1940. This turn, the Japanese will be producing 2 SNLF infantry, 3 regular infantry, and 1 strategic bomber. And we'll be rolling for research. Let's see, long-range aircraft. 10, that's a success. Okay, and next is improved factories. That is also a 10, so that's 2 successes. So Japan will move up to stage 3, long-range aircraft, and stage 3, improved factories. All right, now for the combat moves. All right, I think it's easier to be on this side of the board to show you combat move number 1. I've got it written down right here next to me so I don't mess anything up. 2 SNLFs from Hunan, a Marine, and an infantry. All those from Hunan will be moving into Kwichao. That'll be these units right here, moving into that zone right there. This fighter in Kwangtung will also be going in. And this fighter from C-Zone 89 can fly 1, 2, and it'll have 3, 4 to get back. So that fighter off the carrier down there, I don't know if I had him on where you could see him or not. Also have this battle group right here, which is right up there, but the battle group is here in C-Zone 54. The 1 tactical off the carrier, the fleet carrier there has a tactical and a fighter on it. 1 tactical will be flying. Let's see if I can, there it is. 1, 2, and he'll have 3, 4 to get back to the carrier. So also the tactical. Going up against 2 mountain infantry and 2 militia. And I will get that on the board and get that set up. All right, the way I look at the map, that is a mountain zone, so the mountain infantry will be defending at a 5. The regular infantry and the Marine will move down to 1, and the 2 SNLFs will move down to 2. I have 2 fighters at 6 and a tactical at 7. I'll roll that out. Go 2 at 1. Both misses. 2 at 2 or less. Both misses. 2 at 6 or less. Both misses. And 1 at 7 or less. That's finally a hit with a 4. I'm sure he'll take off a militia. All right, now 2 militia at 2 or less. 1 hit and 1 miss. I'll take off an infantry. And 2 mountain at 5 or less. A 12 and a 9, both misses. Okay. Let's see here. So we've got 1 Marine at a 1. And that is a hit. 2 SNLFs at a 2 or less. 1 hit there. 2 fighters at 6 or less. Both misses. And 1 tactical at 7 or less. And that is just barely a hit with a 6. So that takes off his remaining 3 units, though they will get to fire back. Okay. Have a militia at 2 or less. 5's a miss. 2 mountain infantry at 5 or less. 7 and a 7. So those are both misses. So I took that there, that Kwichao. Took that with a loss of 1 infantry. It's not worth anything, so nobody goes up or down. I just get to put a piece on there and put my pieces back on the board. One fighter will fly back to where he came from down there. The other fighter will fly back to the carrier he flew off of down there. And the tactical will fly back to the battle group and land on the carrier. Okay. Hold up just a second. Let me find my notes so I can tell you what's next. Okay, next up I've got 3 infantry and 2 artillery that will be going into, I believe that's Szechuan, right there next door, defended by 1 militia. So 2 artillery and 3 infantry going in there, along with the fighter off the carrier that's sitting out here in C Zone 54. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it'll have plenty of space to get back, and I'll get that set up on the board and be right back. Okay, I believe that also is mountainous terrain, so I've got my 3 infantry at 1, 2 artillery at 2, fighter at 6 versus 1 militia at 2. So we'll roll the first strike, artillery first, 2 at 2, both misses. 3 infantry at 1, those are all misses, and 1 fighter at 6. That is a miss. Roll back the militia at 2, 5's a miss, so we'll start over with the 3 infantry at 1, all misses. 2 artillery at 2, got 1 hit, finally a hit. And I'm going to go ahead and roll the fighter just to see if he hits or not. And he did not. I'm going to have to fire that guy, send him to kamikaze school or something. Okay, but that took out the 1 remaining militia, which gets the defense roll at 2 or less. And a 6 is a miss, so the Japanese will also take that. And once again, no money will go anywhere because that zone is also worthless. Okay, you can see there the aftermath. I've got 3 infantry and 2 artillery sitting there with a Japanese roundel on it. Fighter flew back to the carrier, the fleet carrier in C Zone 54. And I will look at my notes here. I think I'm going to have to turn the page on my notes here. Okay, for the next combat move, I've got 1 infantry, 1 marine, 1 light tank, 2 tacticals, and 3 fighters in Peking. They'll be moving into Suyan, right here from Peking. Also, 2 artillery and 1 light tank from Rihe will also be moving into that zone. That is a mountainous zone, so I've got to take that into account when I'm setting them up. And I'll get that set up and be right back. That is 1 infantry in that zone. Okay, they'll be attacking into a mountainous zone as well. But as you can see from roundel to roundel, I do not have to go through the desert to get there, so I'm not going to worry about any desert problems. But I have moved everything down 1 for attacking into mountains. So the marine and the infantry will be attacking at a 1, 2 artillery at a 2, 2 light tanks at a 3, and then the aircraft, 3 fighters at 6, and 2 tactical bombers at 7, versus that lone Chinese infantry. I almost feel sorry for him. Okay, 2 at 1. And we got 1 hit out of that. And 2 first strike artillery at 2 or less. Both of those missed. 2 tanks at 3 or less. 1 hit and 1 missed. 3 fighters at 6 or less. All the fighters missed. All my fighters are terrible. And 2 tacticals at 7 or less. 1 hit. and it was a target select, and I'm sure he selected the infantry that's already dead. So I got 3 hits, so the infantry gets to roll back at a 4 or less. And he got an 8, so that's a miss. So I will move in there. That is worth 1, so we'll move the Japanese up 1 on the chart. And I'll get that set up on the board and show you all what it looks like. Okay, there you can see I have 2 light tanks, a Marine, an infantry, and 2 artillery in that zone that I just conquered. The 2 tacticals and the 3 fighters flew back to Peking. Now I think I get to move on to non-combat. Okay, for my non-combat moves, 1 infantry down here from Kwangtung is going to move into Yunnan, as so illustrated. Going to rail move 1 infantry from Cochin, China down here, also up to Yunnan. I don't want the Chinese getting any ideas about taking that back so they can reopen the Burma Road. Then next, over here in Kyushu, we have 2 mountain infantry, 2 Marines, and a fighter, all sitting there. There are, in C-Zone 54, 2 of those transports that are in C-Zone 54 are going to go 1 over here, pick up those 4 units, and 1 back, and deposit them in Rihe, and the fighter is going to be flying to Rihe as well. I will get that set up because I can't hold the camera and do all that at the same time. So, but you see where the units are coming from, how they're getting to Rihe. So, and those transports will end up back in C-Zone 54 where they started with that battle group right there. All right. Okay, there you can see what it ended up like. There are now 2 mountain infantry, 2 Marines, and a militia in Rihe. And the transports got moved back onto the card with that battle group. 2 battleships, a battle cruiser, a fleet carrier, a couple heavy cruisers, and a coastal sub. Looks like from here. Okay, for the placement of units, I'm going to be placing 2 SNLFs along with 3 infantry in Kyushu down here. And this strategic bomber is going over to Rihe at the miner factory there. But that's where it's getting placed. And I believe that is the entirety of everything I had planned on doing. So Japanese will collect 32 for next round. And I'll be signing off and passing it up to Ozark Outpost with the Commonwealth. Thanks, guys.